So now I have the clip in place, spins freely, the shift rod doesn't come out, so that is good. Now I'm going to get the two 13mm bolts that hold this down to the tube. And the Porsche Workshop manual does say to get this at an 80-degree angle before you bolt it down. I don't have the tool for it, so I'm actually going to use the previous markings right there as a guide. I'll probably end up purchasing the tool and calibrate it properly. So here are the bolts. I'm going to get them started down there and come back to torque them down. Okay, so I have the bottom and the top bolt in place with the washers. I previously said that the Porsche Workshop manual wants this on an 80-degree. It's actually an 85-degree angle while it's in neutral. The torque specs on these two bolts are 21 Newton meters or 15.5 foot-pounds. I torqued mine down to 16 foot-pounds, and now it's time to put the cover on. So I'm going to grab my little clip guy here, and if I can see how this goes again. What is it? Alright, there we go. The guy just slides on like that, and then I snap the clip on. I don't think I can do this one-handed. Oh, maybe. Shit, did I? Okay. Awesome. Yeah. So I got the clip on there, and then I just pull the rubber cover down. And get this out of the way again. And I just pull the rubber cover down over this, and then the other piece over top, and flip this guy back, and that part's done as well. So I'm back under the car for the access plate for the transmission coupler. So I've had this bolt reinstalled here, and it gets tightened down to 58 foot-pounds, and also the other access point is right there. I'll need to turn this a few rotations to get that in line, and I'm going to get this one tightened down, and then I'll get that through the access hole. Okay, so now I have the engine cranked into position. It took a few times going back and forth, but I was able to get the bolt through the access hole, and then I just grabbed this guy and okay, yeah, that's better. And then I can just tighten this guy up. Once it's hand snug and I know that it's seated properly, I'll go ahead, torque it down to the 58 foot-pounds, and we'll move on to the next part. Okay, so now that I have the protective covers put back on, came back up to the front here, and I put the heat shield back on. I took the 4 10mm bolts, the two up there, and the two right here, and I didn't find any torque specs on them, so I snugged them down with the wrench, and now it's time to put part of the muffler hanger on. Okay, so now I have these two 13mm, I guess, vibration pieces back on there. There's one right here that's 13mm, as well as the other side. Now, I found it was best to actually put these guys on and then bolt it up here before, instead of just trying to put it on by itself, because it was catching on this. So I'm going to snug these down with the 13mm wrench, because I didn't find any torque specs on these guys, and I will be on to the next part. Okay, so I have the muffler hangers put back into place, and I have part of my muffler that's hanging up on a tire. And basically, I'm just going to lift this guy up here and hang the bolts into there. So I'm going to do it off camera because I can't find my stand and I can't do it one-handed. So we shall see. Okay, so with the muffler connected on both sides, I'm not actually going to tighten anything down until the entire muffler is put back in. And now I'm going to connect the exhaust seal ring up there. So the exhaust seal ring is always a good thing to change out. It's part number 83111925, and it goes between the muffler and the catalytic converter, and I'll show you here. Okay, so the exhaust seal ring slides right in here, and then you just basically slide it up into there and bolt them down. I'm going to do that off camera. Okay, so I have the exhaust put back on, but I hadn't been able to find torque specs for these. The 3 bolts in the front, they say that they're for 15 Newton meters, so that's what I torqued these guys down to. And then following it underneath the car, let me get you under there. I got these 3 bolts tightened down to 15 Newton meter, and I got this piece hung back up. So the exhaust and everything is finally put back together, and the car sounds a whole lot quieter. So I'm going to shut the video off, and I'll see you in the driver's seat. All right, so I'm gonna open up, and I'm gonna fire her up here. Show you how nice she starts. Oh. All right, there she is, idling at 1,000, 20-something miles to the gallon. Tax at 5 bars. Everything looks good. Radio still doesn't work. And yeah, she runs a whole lot quieter with the exhaust on. And she fires right up, which is what I love. Sorry for the camera shaky camera work, but if anybody does know the torque specs to the exhaust, I would absolutely love them, or if they have more specific ones. But if not, the exhaust and everything is put back on. So thank you for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day. Bye-bye.